Hey, welcome to Miss D6 Women's Sports.
Hey, welcome to Miss D6 Women's Sports. Please like, share, subscribe. Well, let's get into it. Atlanta Dream lost to the Minnesota Lynx by 15 points. They was behind most of the game. They never had the lead. And one of the things I noticed they had to do, this is not a bash or anything that the Atlanta Dream, I still believe this is a great team or coaches or anything, but I did notice that they have a tendency to fall behind these games, and you cannot do that with certain teams. This is not the teams they played before. As you see, they fell behind the Las Vegas Aces, and even though they came back to take the lead, they still lost the game. They lost this game to a savvy, veteran-led team in the Minnesota Lynx, and they fell behind. The defense looked lethargic, the rebounding. And one thing you cannot do is fall behind in this league. That kind of play is a recipe for disaster. So they had to start off very fast. Some of the rotations, Carl Semesco was kind of questionable. You see some of the starters didn't have it early on. He went to his bench kind of late. And maybe they could have turned the tide of the game, but they didn't. And that's one thing I was noticing about Coach Semesco. Sometimes you can go with your veterans because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But sometimes you have to sit them down if they're not playing very well. And one of the things I noticed that they kind of reverted to, like they did last year, is when they panic and the guards like to jack up threes, especially Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray. I love them. They're great players. They do not take advantage of the fact that they are veterans, and they did not take advantage of the fact that you're going against a rookie point guard and Olivia Miles and try to get her in foul trouble. They settle for shots like they did last year. Last year they had BG and Brianna Jones. She's out for the injury. They went out and got Angel Reese, and they still jacking up shots. And so Carl Semesco, of course I'm not the coach, but as a fan, you look at it, and as a player, a person that played and also watch basketball, when things are not going well, sometimes you have to sit down your starters. Only one that played halfway decent, even though they was calling some crazy fouls, was Angel Reese. And the reason why they went out to get Angel Reese, because they was lacking that spark, that toughness, that inside presence that had that toughness is going to have everybody doing their job. They did not play very good defense. There's fouling. They was letting the Minnesota Lynx get to their spots, a whole bunch of backdoor layups. It just looked very disorganized. And so when you saw that, I felt the coach should have made some changes. Leave Angel on the floor. And also, Angel had almost a double-double. She had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And I was always wondering why he don't play her at the point forward like they use AT in Phoenix. And maybe that was a good chance for them to do that, because Jordan Canada was not having a good game on both ends of the floor. She was getting beat by Olivia Miles, a lot of backdoor cuts. Alicia Gray was getting beat. Ryan Howard, defense wasn't there. Her offense wasn't there, and she wasn't playing defense. So usually when her offense is not clicking, it's a wrap for them. And I felt like they panicked, and they used a lot of, they did a lot of action on the perimeter and never getting the ball inside Angel. Angel was also 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And it could have made a big difference if they would have let her handle the ball and have some of the guards come off the ball, play a little more pow, Navarre, play a little bit more Okot, but they didn't. You went to the bench too late. The game was over. Sometimes you have to sit players down and say, you know what, I'm just going to sit you down for a minute. Nas Hillman, go to the bench. Ryan Howard, go to the bench. Alicia Gray, go to the bench and play your youngsters. And have Angel on the floor with them, so you could probably get that energy back. The game was never in question for the Lynx. They led from beginning to the end. They controlled the pace. They got whatever they wanted. They played great defense. Atlanta didn't communicate on defense, and it seemed like they were reverting back to the old waves of if just shooting, chucking up shots, and that's not going to work. You brung in Angel Reese. You wanted her to give you the inside presence. Give her the ball. She's going to give you the ball back. She's a great passer. She's going to play tough, but she can't do her thing if you chucking up shots. And so Brianna Jones is coming back, and now you have two post presence or presence in the post. And so Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard especially, this is not to pick on Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard, but they have to realize you don't have to chuck up shots. The last game they won, very emotional game, Ryan Howard took the ball to the hole. She didn't chuck up a lot of shots. And so I don't understand why the inconsistent play from her. She loved to the jump shot. She falls in love with it. So do Alicia Gray. Just take the ball to the hole and let Angel do her thing. Also, get the ball to Angel. She's not a traditional post up. She's not gonna ball hog. She will pass the ball back out. But I think if you run the offense kind of through her, it'll make your offense a lot more smoother. But jacking up jump shots is not going to get it. And that's the one thing that Atlanta has to get out that habit. You wanted Angel to come there to help you with the inside presence more and help Brianna Jones, because you probably didn't know that she's going to come back, so you needed the inside presence. And so you have to use her. And hopefully Semesco will figure out the combinations of players coming off the bench who, when a player is not having a great start, and don't be afraid to send them down. Sometimes you have to hurt feelings. Also, two things that will prevent them from becoming successful if they don't get it together, and they kind of convert back to that. Quit taking all those jump shots. Get the other team in foul trouble. Take advantage of your matchups. Also, the defense has to get better. And you cannot keep shooting it because you're going to shoot yourself out of the games. So taking jump shots, the rotations have to be there. Don't be afraid to sit players down. And they get the message. But they're not going to get the message if you keep playing them and you saying, okay, basically saying it's okay. And you brought in Angel to give you that toughness, the rebounding. Use her full capabilities. Because you see, like I said, she had 10 points. She had 5 assists, 5 rebounds. She could give you that triple-double, the double-double. And you had to allow her to play her game. But Alicia and Ryan, and sometime Nas, you fall in love with the jump shot without trying to get the ball in. Even when Kata's in there, you have to give her the ball. She's 6'6". Angel is 6'4". So just take advantage of that and see, like they reverted back to is the old habits, and that's going to give you a lot of losses. But they don't do that and play tough defense and get Angel involved in many ways that she can get involved, they could be a dangerous team. But right now, in certain spots, being self-destructive by not starting fast and shooting jump shots. And like you see, with a savvy team, a veteran team that's well coached, that's going to be a recipe for disaster. There's going to be a lot of losses with that. So you have to clean that up. So that's my thoughts on that. Get a ball, let Angel do her thing. You bring her in there to be a force, ball and energy. So let her do her thing. This is Miss D for System on Sports. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm out.